Hey y'all, what's going on? And welcome to BGTU YouTube. Now, I just had to come and make this video because I tell you guys all the time to not blindly follow anyone, and really that the news and what, these so-called mega rich people say, half the time don't believe what they say, believe what they do. And this is why I don't watch the news and use the news as a means of helping me decide if I want to enter or exit a trade. So here's Bitcoin. Today it's about up $843, roughly 2.78%. And this is the daily chart. And we can see it's been consolidating right here for a few days. So I ran a fib swing high to swing low, and it's pretty much at the 50% retracement level. So, which is why it's more than likely consolidating right here. So we could either end up pulling back, and I'm not saying we're pulling back all the way down here, but we could end up pulling back to the 618, taking off, or pulling back, going a little bit lower. So we just have to wait for it to break its current consolidation, which is right here. I'm going to make this white. So that's where our current consolidation is on Bitcoin. And you can see when we were here before, actually, when we had a break of structure right here, we consolidated prior to this move down. So to be back roughly in the same spot, consolidating, I'm not all that surprised. So, but this is my issue, not so much Bitcoin's consolidating or at resistance, but and I remember this guy doing all this too, which is crazy. So I don't follow anything. So our friend Larry Fink from BlackRock, now these are the people that own trillions and trillions of dollars in investments, hedge funds, and we're going to look at those up top. That basically Bitcoin reached a new high because after today is July 13th, he basically endorsed Bitcoin. And he said Bitcoin can revolutionize finance. In a TV interview with Fox, he believes, adding that he believes the underlying technology is fantastic. Now, they were one of the people that were basically like, it's a hoax, blah, 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 whatever bad they had to say. Like, this is one of your people that were very vocal, kind of like with Warren Buffett's been vocal and all that kind of stuff. So they say all that, and then when it's beneficial to them, they decide to go ahead and endorse. Well, another thing that he is doing, which is interesting, which has now caused kind of like another little frenzy, is, let me get it open. So BlackRock has decided, I'm going to make that bigger, to put in an application to create a Bitcoin ETF. They did that last month. So because they have done it, y'all know, old girl over there at ARK is going to come right behind them. So it's led ARK Investments, Fidelity, and all these other ones to file their own application for Bitcoin ETFs. So you may see a Bitcoin ETF here relatively soon. I mean, I don't know how soon. I haven't been following that part, but possibly here soon. But all this talk about Bitcoin and money laundering and all this other stuff, this is why you don't follow the news. This is why you make your own decisions, because they'll say all this, and in the background they are doing something completely different. Now, BlackRock actually owns a part of MicroStrategy, not just from the institutional point. They actually own a part of MicroStrategy, which is a Bitcoin mining company. So as you can see here, the major holders of MicroStrategy are Vanguard, which is kind of like the silent counterpart of BlackRock. So they own quite a few shares. And then BlackRock right here, remember I told you half the time when you look up a stock, BlackRock and Vanguard are going to be somewhere in the top 5. Every now and then they be a little bit lower, but for the most part, they're in the top 5. So Vanguard owns a bunch of shares, and so does BlackRock. But BlackRock also owns a share of the company, not just shares. So here's Marathon Digital Mara, another cryptocurrency mining, and Vanguard owns a bunch of shares along with BlackRock. BlackRock also owns part of Mara. Now let's look at Coinbase, who's been took a Red Bull today and grew some wings. So Vanguard owns a lot of shares of Coin. And then BlackRock is down here. They don't own quite as many. They own a little bit less than half, or a little bit more than half, I should say, as Vanguard owns. But once again, they're in that top 5 category. So they have Larry Fink has positioned himself in a very good position to profit from any runs that Bitcoin does as a benefit of him endorsing BlackRock. So this video was not to bash him or to bash Bitcoin or anything like that. The video's purpose is really to tell you, stop listening to the news, stop listening to what these people are telling you, and go and see what they're doing. Um, they own, let me see if I can find it real quick. Oops, I don't know what I did. Hold on. They own, um, yeah, I don't know where it is at this moment, but they've put a lot of money into this. Just go do your research. Like, once again, you don't have to listen to me and, just believe what I say. Like, go do your own research and look this up. See what Larry Fink owns, see how much he owns, and see what he's been up to. Honestly, you might want to do that for Warren Buffett or for anyone that has spoken about how Bitcoin basically is for money laundering or anything bad that they've had to say about Bitcoin. So just go look up and see what they've been doing. Because of their status, they have to file the information, so it is public for you to go look up and see. But yeah, this was just kind of like, I wanted to speak on it because this is a perfect example of just not listening to this people and doing your own research into what they're doing versus what they're saying. So this happens a lot. I am basically trying to keep you diverted over here with all this ruckus I'm talking about, but really in the background, I am secretly stashing my Bitcoin coins, so when I decide to flip my position, I can profit from it. So so here's Bitcoin. Like I said, it's consolidating. It did the same thing on the way down when it was here before. So we could either, it's in consolidation at resistance. So several things that can happen here. We could see a reversal. So, and my arrows are not an indication of where I think it's going. So we could see a reversal and then a potential push back up to go higher, depends on what happens. We could see a breakout and pull back. So this may break out and then pull back, and then it may take off that way. Oops. So that's something that it can do. Like I said, it can continue. So breakout, pullback. We could have a false breakout where it breaks out, it comes up, and then it comes back down and it goes on to wherever it's going to go. And you just may have some increased volatility in Bitcoin from there. So, you've always got to account for the up and the downside and what could potentially happen. But the only thing I can tell you right now is that it is consolidating for sure. And we need to wait for a breakout of this consolidation prior to deciding what you want to do, like if you want to trade Bitcoin or possibly enter one of these other companies that kind of run with Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy, Marathon, Mara, and Coinbase all run with Bitcoin. So if you don't want to trade Bitcoin, you can actually trade one of these other guys and still make money off of the move. So that's my time. Y'all take care. Stay safe in those stock market streets. And I will talk to you guys soon.